Do these sound all right? I've got my earbuds in, so if it sounds like garbage, I'll just I don't know, record this again. But I got a set of Megan Racing coilovers off Facebook because this, for right now, is what's in the budget, and I didn't want to keep it at stock ride height, so budget coilovers it is. What I found interesting is that the sway bar end link is what mounts the shock. So I found that really interesting. So I'm gonna pull, this is the rear. I'm pulling the rear apart, and I'll be pulling these rear calipers off because I'm painting all the calipers black. I decided black against red, and then I put this, the muffler, the axle back that came with the car on here. And then what I found is this right here. I don't know what the fuck happened, but I'm gonna see if I can get that pulled. It's not really in a spot that you can see, but it's something that's still gonna bother me. But today I'm doing the coilovers, and then I'm gonna work through trying to organize the car again, getting this car emptied out just so we can clean it and everything. And then we've got the seals around for the doors. Got to figure out how those go on, and then start working through the wiring. But that's the goal for today. I'll come back and tell you guys how far I made it and what exactly got done. I finally put this door handle on, so now I've got door handles for both sides. I just need to get the lock cylinder for it. I'm probably going to get one that doesn't work because I'm getting keyless entry installed on this car once everything's all said and done. But everything is coming along, and we're going to see how it all goes. Another important thing that I want to get done is there's these holes in the top of the hatch, like in the roof right there, where wiring's supposed to go through, but I don't have those wires besides that one over there. So the hatch has a hole in it, and then the roof has two more holes in it. So I want to get all those plugged up because right now every time it rains there's water building up where the back seats would be. So I got to get that dealt with, and I want to get these Mazda Miata seats removed because every time I touch them I get, like, my arms get really itchy, so I'm guessing there's like fiberglass or something on them. So we're gonna work through all that today, and then like I said, I'll be back and see how far we get. Now the car's starting to feel more like my car. I mean, I'm gonna dial in the ride height a little more, but at least they're installed. For some reason the front lower strut mount was fighting me the whole time, but the back looks good, so I'm enjoying it a lot. I think the back looks perfect. The front could go down a bit more, but right now it's on the Rx7 wheels, which are 18s, and I think 18s look good for the FD, but what I've got for it right now is 17s, and I'm going to be running spacers, but we're going to see what ends up happening. But this is the Megan Racing Easy coilovers. The rear went smooth as butter, but the front, just the lower mount, didn't want to seat in like smooth. But I got it all together, and odds are it's going to come back apart and then annoy me again going back together. But it's humid and hot, and I'm going to get going home for now. But I'm going to pack everything up, and this is where it sits on the new coilovers. So we're just here, and we got alcohol in a spray bottle, and we're just taking the time to peel off all the plasti dip from these, what is it, 5 Ziggin?
I have no idea.
I don't know how to, I think it's, I don't know if you're supposed to pronounce it another way, but they're
5 Z's.
They're 5 Ziggin wheels, and they're 17 by 7, and they're plus, where is it? ET 42. So 42 millimeters of offset. Or is it 24? I don't know, it's confusing because it says ET this way and you gotta flip your head the other way to get the 42, but I'm pretty sure it's 42 millimeters of offset. So we're cleaning these up. I'm gonna remove all the adhesive and everything, pull these tires off because they're junk, and then I'm gonna hold on to them. 1 second. So they actually are in decent shape. There's some damages, Yeah, definitely could be
There's
worse.
some damage right here.
Yeah, I find that weird.
There's a lot of damage on this one, as you can see right here. I thought I was gonna try to pick us off, but it was a lot of the lug nut spaces, which you would think it'd be the rims, but no. Here, grab. Like, that's all I wanted to say.
But I'm gonna see once they're actually bronze again and cleaned up and I'm probably just gonna find a used set of tires to throw on them. I'm gonna see how they look when they're on the car when it's lowered. And if I don't like it, or if I think I'd like it in a different color, then I'll either get them refinished or I'm going to get 18s because these are 17s. But that's all for now. And I'll see you guys when this is done and I'll show you the result.
Oh, fuck. Shit. I don't give a shit. I don't know which way you want me to have this.
Fucking horizontal?
This is an engine. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. All I know is it's all this. This is an engine. That's fans. I think it's a radiator.
Are you saying anything?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Yes, you'll only figure it out when you see it. Yeah, that's an engine. That's tape.
Heavy ass intake manifold. I don't know why. So that tape had a tear in it. Today we get to get rid of all the tape and actually put an intake manifold on it. Which is good.
Oh, by the way, it's an Rx7 FD. we never said anything.
Oh yeah, welcome to the video.
It's right-hand drive. It has Miata seats in it.
I already went over all this stuff.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oops. Well, here it is. Specialia.
Hey, I think your car needs to work.
Shit, really? I didn't realize.
And did you see that SI for sale? The trade-in?
I did. I was trying to tell Allie we should trade in for it.
Dude, do it. It's a Honda.
No.
With our stick.
No.
And if you break it's gonna be cheap.
No.
What happened?
Honda, baby.
VTEC, baby.
Get out of here.
VTEC.
Get out of here. Go. Be free.
Ew.
Ew.
Nasty. Poop, poop.
It's cold.
Yeah,
It's supposed to frost tonight.
Oh, that's glorious. It's exactly what I want.
Good old Wisconsin. So he's taking apart stuff.
I am changing out the oil pressure sensor because it's a real common thing on LS's that when you take off the intake manifold, you put too much pressure down on the back and snap the oil pressure sensor off, and that's exactly what I did by accident.
Oh.
So I had to order a new one. And that's the only reason the intake manifold hasn't been on, is because this oil pressure sensor's been not on. And where is the bolt for it? I specifically remember.
There is a bolt over here.
Yeah, that. Why did I hear someone?
That was
That Jeep just popped.
No! Fuck. I'm like trying to drink
I
this.
think the Jeep has a crackle tune.
Ask Casa about it. Like,
I literally hear pop, pop.
so this is it. Hello, it's me again.
Yes. So we're just basically, I want to get the intake manifold on. I want to get the engine all sealed up. We just drilled this hole over here because the iron blocks don't come with that hole.
Sorry, I'm trying to.
The iron blocks don't come with that hole. So we had to drill a hole so we can mount our low mount alternator kit. And that's what we're going to be working on today. But I left my water pump at home by accident. So I think what's end up going to happen is we're going to get the intake manifold bolted down. And then we're going to probably end up calling it a day after that.
Yay.
And then I'm missing some hardware for my fuel rails. So I'm going to go pick that up after we're done here. It's supposed to be this way. Nope.
What's up?
They're not long enough.
Oh shit.
So no, they're not the right ones.
Did they send them with it?
Well, these were, the intake unit bolt came separately. Intake manifold is its own thing. They came with the car. And I got these bolts thinking that they were the right ones, but they're not. The thread pitch is right.
Just you need them to be longer?
They just need to be a lot longer. Because they don't even reach the bottom.
Alright. Do you know where we could get some?
I'm not sure. I could order them online.
Yeah, but if it rains.
Yeah, I know. Now I just unsealed everything. Not that it was sealed perfectly before, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah. I mean, there's Menards and Walmart and stuff.
Yeah, but we'll check.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to run back here and stuff. There's also Napa. Do you think they're gonna have any?
I'm not sure about that. So, just working out some kinks. With this bracket, the instructions say that this bolt goes here, but there's nothing there, like, to thread into. So I don't know if there's something that's normally there that's not there, or if there's something that's like a bracket that's normally there. I know someone here who's more familiar with LSs than I am, so I'm gonna ask them if there's normally like a cover here that I can normally bolt it to, but like the whole motor's moving when I'm pulling on this, so I think once everything's tight, it's billet, so I think it should be fine even without this extra support here. Just using these two. And that's what's bolting down the alternator, one to the block right up there and one to the block down there. And here's power steering. I just need to get the pulley, which is right here. This pulley put on right there, which I think it just gets pressed on. I'm hoping that this is the right pulley and everything, but it looks like it gets pressed on. I don't know how it manages to clear once it's fully pressed on, but you know, it was the one that was supposed to be with it, so it should clear just fine. I'm going to be pulling the pump back off to tighten this bracket fully down tomorrow because I don't have the right size Allen with me right now. But I put the water pump on. The water pump's torqued down. I cleaned up the surface behind it so it shouldn't leak. If it does, then oh well, if you're watching these videos. But I've got the intake manifold gaskets on there, and just in case it rains, I'm going to be setting these, just pushing these down into here. You know, just try my best to keep any water out of the heads as possible because I don't want any rust or anything like that. Especially, I have been looking into, there's someone who has a 13B for sale, and I'm looking into trading this whole setup for their 13B setup in their Rx7 because they want to do an LS swap. I want to make sure that if I do the trade, I'm as honest as possible and they're getting what they think they're getting, you know? Because I feel like that's like a lot of things is like, a lot of people are fucked up and they'll be like, oh yeah, it's like, you know, it's great, and it's really fucking not. Like, you know, I mean, I kind of knew what I was getting into because I know people are like that. But tomorrow I'll be able to tighten this up. Wait, actually, let me check if I have something. Right back here, I've got a, where is it? I bet you guys see it right here. This bad boy. Is this the right size? No, it's too small. I feel like that might have been the one I tried earlier. But I don't have any more of these in my toolbox besides the one in my pocket, which is for the fuel rails. So I'm gonna call it a night here, and hopefully I can actually get this car running next week like I said I would. But once the pilot bearing comes here, I can put the car up in the air and get the trans in, which I think is going to be one of the next steps, because right now the motor rocks back and forth. I mean, now it's leaning more forward because I've got more weight on the front of it. But once I, sorry. Once I have it set where it's supposed to be, then moving on to everything else, like when I'm tightening stuff up, the motor's not rocking around. But it's filled with 5.5 quarts of oil because it was dry before. And I don't know if that's bad or not, but like in my brain, it makes me uncomfortable just having a dry engine. So we're gonna continue work tomorrow. I'm rambling on now. So we're gonna continue work tomorrow, and hopefully this FD will be running next week. So I'll see you guys then. Another new day, which means another new day working on the FD. So I was making some progress. I think in the last video we went over that these were too short, so we ordered the longer ones, and lo and behold, they were too fucking long. So at this point, I'm just gonna, one second. Sorry, a tractor, fucking forklift is coming through. So at this point, I'm just gonna take the short one, go to the hardware store and order 10, like an inch longer than what those were. I'm starting to get all the wiring in. So here's the coolant temperature sensor, all the sensors, and this is going to be tucked down under here as it goes, running it through the passenger side, which would be the driver's side on a left-hand drive car, and then running it into here. And I was going to, once I have everything mounted up here, I was going to mount the ECU where the glove box would normally be, or maybe further back near the firewall. And then I'm running my power line back to here, so then the battery is going to sit somewhere back here under the strut bar, and that's some decent progress. My favorite progress though so far is here, one second, let me hood's closed, and you know, we can come in here. See this little guy? Bam, it pops the hood. It's so stupid, but it really just makes it feel nicer. And also, it makes it where I can lock my car and you can't open the hood. So that's something that really bothers me. But I want to get this engine bay repainted, but for the time being, I don't want it to look like a shit box. So I'm gonna like go through and do dumb shit, like cut these bolts shorter so they're not awkward lengths. Just tuck up all the wires away all nice and make it look nice in here, even though it's all scratched up and looks like shit. I want it to look pretty at the same time, you know? I don't want it to be shitbox territory. I want it to be like, you know, used territory. Like it's clean. So we ran into some hiccups today, sadly. The big ones is I pulled off my rear main, the cover, and I was removing the seal, and I was a bit too aggressive, and I damaged the cover because I had it like this, and I was like, oh, cool piece of wood, and I was tapping with a hammer and a flathead around all the edges to like slowly take it out, and I guess I just went too hard and cracked it. So I'm gonna need to get a new cover for the rear main. Otherwise I would have had the clutch, flywheel, the clutch and flywheel and starter all installed today. I need one more bolt for my starter because it's only held in by the outermost bolt right now because it didn't come with both of them. I need to hook up this linkage and then put my brake booster in. And one thing that really bothers me is the previous owner. I don't know if it was already like this or if he just didn't care. These when he put the engine in, he bent them all sorts out of shape. I've already been working at it. It was behind the fucking motor. But I got my O2 sensor installed and I'm starting to run all these wires. I think these are for extra stuff so I can run these up into my fans. And once that's all installed, there's just all the extra things. So I need a new map sensor, I need a new mat sensor, and I need a PCV valve, and I need to block off all the emission stuff. I need to finish my heater core block off, throttle cable, and I wanted to have it running next week, which would be very possible if it wasn't for this one issue right here. So these are the fuel rails that came with the car. And when you take a look at it and you take one of the injectors and you try to use my injector harness, you try to plug it in, they don't work with each other. Because if you look at here, focus, there's that long pin in the middle that's going almost all the way down. And then if you look inside the injector, there's also a long pin. So it's almost like I think the pins in each other are hitting. I don't know if I need different injectors. Also, another huge thing that I didn't realize when I first got the car was that, one second, let me find them so I can show you guys real quick. When the blocks for the fuel rails are installed onto the fuel rails, the injectors, we got some Bluetooth injection going on here. So I don't know if this is meant for like bigger injectors, like longer ones, or what. I was thinking I could probably just drill a new hole lower in the mount and tap it and mount the whole rail lower. But if these injectors aren't going to work anyways, I might as well just order the bigger ones that'll actually work with it. So I don't know, there's a guy who I know who, his name's Tommy G, he's great, and he knows a lot about LSs. He builds drag ones, or built a drag LS, I don't know. He's big in the community. I need the belt tensioner, and then I need to figure out what these two holes are for. I think I already went over that, but once I do that and get everything all hooked up, all the vacuum lines dealt with, then I can, I think it'll be ready for startup.